Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Beth, for being so kind. And I hope presenting me here today, I would hope after all of these years that I would not need to be introduced to Charleston or its voters. I want to thank all of you who have done so much, not just to improve this party, but also to bring visionary leadership to South Carolina and South Carolina's low country. I want to thank Beth for making the sacrifice. I want a lot of young people, when I go around doing commencement addresses, I do a lot of commencements at both the grade school. In fact, the last one I did was middle school, high school, college, law schools. It doesn't matter. I always say to them that we should not be discouraged when we fail to make our accomplishments the first time out. Many of you recall that the first time I ran for office back in 1970 here in Charleston County, I lost. In 1978, I ran for Secretary of State for the state of South Carolina, and I lost. In 1986, I ran for Secretary of State again. The results were the same. I lost. And a friend of mine said to me, "What are you going to do now? You had just lost for the third time, and you know what they say, 3 strikes and you're out." I said to that friend, that's the baseball rule. And nobody should live their lives by baseball rules. In this life of ours, and in this great country of ours, you are never out until you're down. And since I ain't down anywhere, I'm not out anywhere, none of you are out. So Beth, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. So thank you so much. Let me say to Lucille Whipper, Lucille and I go back farther than she would like for you to know. I've reached the point where I just don't care if people know. I was back at C.A. Brown High School, before that Simonton School. I've been in Congress now 21 years. I ran the Human Affairs Commission for 18 years. I was in the governor's office for 4 years. All of that stuff happened before I did any of those things. And that's how long I've known Lucille Whipper. And I want to thank her so much for her friendship. In fact, I can say unequivocally that she is one of those people who, when things got tough, she was one of the people I could go to and seek solace. She's a great person, and I want to congratulate her on this tremendous honor here today. Congratulations, Lucille Whipper. And of course, all of you know that Marjorie Emmons Frazier was absolutely the best. I did not think that my Sundays were complete until I had dinner at Marjorie Emmons Frazier's house. It was a ritual that I always look forward to. My wife looked forward to it as well, because that meant that she could have a solid meal and all of us could eat and rejoice, and she didn't have to cook anything. And so you are to be thanked for continuing to honor the legacy and the life and the memory of Marjorie Emmons Frazier. Thank you so much for that. Now, I saw Herbert Phelan around here. He's been running from the sun. I think he's told me he's going back under a tree. I want to thank him for his friendship and for being out here today. I want to thank Jamie Harrison. Where's Jamie? Thank you so much for providing such visionary leadership to the South Carolina Democratic Party. I have given nothing but grave reviews over the work you're doing to help this party come back. Marlon, congratulations. Marlon decided that he wouldn't wait on the baseball rule to kick in. He decided he would just win the first time out. But congratulations to you, and I am very pleased with that. I remember him as a child. Many of you may recall his dad also ran for Secretary of State a few years ago. So Marlon grew up in this, and he is going to make an outstanding senator. Now, I want to say just a couple of things to you before I introduce and present our speaker for today. Now, the reason I say introduce and present, to a lot of you, it will be an introduction. But South Carolina is not foreign to him. His mother and father were born and raised in Clyburn County, South Carolina. So our speaker today is no stranger to South Carolina, and I'll present him to you in just a moment. But before I do that, I want to say something to you about the issue of today. I'm saying the issue, because I'm not going to get into other things. Our outstanding, I'm saying he's not the nominee yet, but he is our candidate for governor. Vincent Shaheen has already laid out to you what the issues are going to be in this campaign next year. I turned to somebody sitting next to me, and the energy that he displayed here today gives me great hope that we can be successful next year. I don't know if the local papers have been running the story, but about a week ago, a poll was done. He didn't do the poll. The Democratic Governors Association commissioned the poll. They commissioned that poll because they wanted to find out whether or not the chances were there, the possibilities were there for Democrats to win back the governorship of South Carolina. They are very, very pleased with the poll. They were so pleased with the poll until they have made a significant financial commitment and investment in Vincent Shaheen. I can tell you those numbers are real. And there is a tremendous possibility of us winning next year. Now, his favorability right now is above that of the current governor. Though in the trial run, he's like 4 points behind her. But anytime an incumbent is down less than 40% for re-election, it is a tremendous possibility that that incumbent should be kept under 50% in the final analysis. And we have a tremendous possibility. We have to go out and get it done. It's not going to happen just because we wish it to happen. As many of you know, I was born and raised in a parsonage. And my dad used to say to me all the time, son, you pray every day for good health and strength. And the good Lord gives you good health and strength, get up off your knees and work like hell to make it happen. So I want to say to you, pray. But then let's go out and make it happen. That ought not be foreign to us. Those of us who are still maintaining a closeness to religion, we pray and sing all the time, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. If you're asking the good Lord to make you an instrument, that means you want him to use you to get something done. Be an instrument. And let's get this country back on the right track. Let's get this state back in the Democratic column. Let's all be instruments next year to get this done. And that one issue, I'm absolutely tired hearing all of this stuff about the website. Now, we work hard. We worked very hard to get the Affordable Care Act put into law. This is something that was introduced to our nation over 100 years ago. The first president to introduce the concept was Theodore Roosevelt. Not Franklin Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. He introduced the concept over 100 years ago, a Republican president. There's nothing about the Affordable Care Act that's partisan. And every president since then has tried in some way, shape, or form to get us health care. Harry Truman said when he left office that his greatest regret was that he did not get universal access to health care. Lyndon Johnson tried. He got Medicare, he got Medicaid, but he was not able to get the universal access to health care. Then came along Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton holed away for a year, working, trying to get it done, and did not get it done. And then in 2008, McCain, Edwards, Obama, Clinton, all four of them laid out their health care plans. But unfortunately, only one of them could win. And when Barack Obama got elected, he set out to get the health care plan turned into law, and it's now the law of the land. And I don't care what the Tea Party says, I don't care what Republicans say, the law is here to stay. And don't you let anybody tell you that the website is this and the website is that. Dial the 1-800 number. Most of you are just like me anyway. If you got onto the website, you wouldn't know what to do. Dial the 1-800 number. Talk to somebody. Let them walk you through it. Go down to the community health center. Franklin Feather's got all kinds of money to help you sign up. Don't be worried about the web page. Do what we've been doing all the time.
That's right.
Use the telephone. That's how you talk about everybody. Get on the telephone.
That's right.
And talk to somebody at the call center. Get signed up for this, because from January 1, no man with prostate cancer, no woman with breast cancer, or a man with breast cancer. Senator, y'all remember this? Some of you may not remember. But breast cancer knows no respecter of gender.
That's right. That's right.
Kay Patterson, our former senator, is a survivor of breast cancer, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
And under the law, until we pass the Affordable Care Act, come January 1, no insurance company can deny him or any of you of the insurance coverage because of pre-existing conditions. That was not the law before. These guys who tell you that they are so upset that the web page ain't working, it was left up to them. There wouldn't have been a web page to write anything for.
That's right.
So don't let that foolishness stop you. Dial that 1-800 number and get online. Now let me introduce our speaker, because I'm getting ready to get warmed up here. Those of you who look in on C-SPAN, you'll hear us say it all the time when we're talking about each other. No matter what side of the aisle they're on, we introduce each other as my good friend, but most times we don't mean it. But when I say that Elijah Cummings is my good friend, I really do mean it. Elijah Cummings, a few months ago, we had a little challenge when we lost control of the House. Nancy Pelosi came to me and says, we've got a problem. Darrell Issa from California is going to be the chair of government oversight. And he has announced to the world that he is going to use that position to issue subpoenas, to be a nightmare to Democrats, and to be the worst nightmare he possibly could to President Obama. We got to have somebody sitting on that committee, somebody as a ranking Democrat who can go toe-to-toe with him and keep him in his place. Do you have any suggestions? Yes. As I ain't got but one. Elijah Cummings. And those of you who've been watching this, you know that day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, Elijah Cummings has been putting Darrell Issa in his place. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you a whole lot about this gentleman. I can tell you a whole lot about his roots. But if you want to know who and what he really is, turn on your televisions. Watch MSNBC. Yeah. Don't go over there to Fox. You ain't gonna see him over there. Go to where the intelligence is. Go to where people live by facts. Go to where people just don't make stuff up. And watch this man perform. He is exactly what we need to keep those Republican naysayers at bay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pride and all kinds of pleasure that I introduce and present Elijah Cummings, the congressman from the 7th Congressional District of Maryland, and my real good friend.